Hey guys, welcome back to Adventures in Aviators, your DIY adventure channel. Today we're continuing our Snorkeling Kwajalein in the Marshall Islands series with a really unique opportunity to snorkel a shipwreck. This is the LCM, and as we always do, we are going to rank this on 5 different categories. That is location, water access, water traffic, wildlife, and facilities, and we're going to rank it on our scale of 1 to 5 manta rays. So let's jump right in here. Where exactly is the LCM wreck? Well, it is kind of in between the main pier and Emon Beach, so it's still going to be up near permanent housing on the northern part of the island, but it's going to be a little bit further down, and you've got a rock wall that kind of holds in this side of the island here. As you go south from Emon Beach, it starts with a jetty, and you're going to see massive rocks all the way down until you reach the main pier. And the LCM wreck is going to be found about 2/3 of the way down from Emon Beach towards the pier. It's pretty easy to identify from shore, as it has a kind of buoy ball attached to it, and that's physically attached to the wreck. And the wreck is, again, very shallow, which makes it a really excellent snorkel and a really unique opportunity to snorkel a wreck like this. So because this is easily accessible and close to most of the permanent housing and right next to the dog run area here, I'm going to give this 5 out of 5 manta rays for location. So when accessing the water here, because we have that rock jetty down there, you could climb down there, but that's really not advisable. There is certainly coral that grows along all of those rocks all the way down that area, so it's really easy to get scraped up, to slip. The rocks themselves are not particularly easy to maneuver, and so there are a set of stairs right here, right by the dog run here, and they're called the ski boat stairs. And so this is certainly the way that I recommend getting in here, and we'll talk about it again in facilities in a little bit. But you have a nice stairway entrance that helps you down. You've got a hand railing here that I definitely recommend using, and then it guides you down to a couple of large rocks, which can also again be slippery depending on the tides and just the day. So do be careful as you're getting in the water here, but it's a pretty simple entry here. It is pretty easy to get in, but not quite a beach access, and so I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 manta rays. So as you get in the water from the ski boat stairs, and they call it the ski boat area because back in the day there used to be ski boats that you could rent in this area, and because the water is typically rather calm here, this would be the designated area for water skiing. And so that is really nice that the water is nice and calm here. These days you don't have that so much, but it's still known as the ski boat area. But once you get in, you're going to go south or left, and you can really hang close to the rocks here if you want to, but it gets pretty darn deep pretty quick, and there's plenty to see as you go, but you'll see some pretty dramatic drop-offs. And as you would make your way south, you're just going to find eventually here, as you get closer to that ball, suddenly out of the murk appears this massive LCM, and it is not small, and it's really cool anytime you get to encounter a shipwreck and it just kind of appears from the abyss. And this is a really special thing to be able to do on a snorkel, and you don't lose much by snorkeling this one as opposed to diving it. It is right there, and a really cool sight. Make sure that there are no boats around. There are some large transport boats that come around, and so make sure that you are aware. And if you see them operating in the area, this would be a time to just avoid this snorkel in general and go up to Emon Beach, where they aren't going to be anywhere near that. So do be mindful for that. But overall, you are not going to see much in the way of water traffic here. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 manta rays. When it comes to wildlife, we have still a plethora of things to see on this snorkel. One really nice thing about this particular snorkel is that there are an abundance of sea anemones to see. Pretty much straight away as you start heading south, there is a coral head that has a sea anemone that's been there for years. It's really beautiful. And if you continue past the shipwreck, you can continue south. There are at least 2 more anemones closer to the rocks there. So lots of anemones in this area. And you can definitely still see some smaller blacktip reef sharks here. Eagle rays frequent this area as well. Definitely turtles. We come and sit on the rocks and look for turtles in the evening here, just surfacing. And you can even get the rare manta ray as well, my favorite, in this area. So lots and lots of opportunities to see cool wildlife. The rocks are always a good place to see octopus as well, if you have a good eye for octopus. And of course, what's so cool about these shipwrecks is they become a sanctuary for wildlife. You'll see that you've got all kinds of coral growing on this LCM wreck as you explore the nooks and crannies. Of course, you do not go into this wreck, that is forbidden, but you can swim all around it, near it, and look inside, and you're going to have all kinds of wildlife that is now calling this shipwreck home. It's a really, really cool thing to see, and highly recommend you checking this out. Because of the cool wildlife that you can see on this, I'm going to give this 5 out of 5 manta rays. Finally, for facilities, I mentioned that you have the ski boat stairs here to get in, and that is accompanied by a wash station and a small dunk tank for gear. While you do have a rinse-off shower here and the tank, you're not going to find any restrooms nearby. So I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 for facilities. So overall, this is an amazing short out-and-back snorkel to go see a shipwreck, which is just such a unique opportunity. Even if you're not super comfortable in the water yet, it's a nice shallow place so you can enjoy it. If you do venture away from, the rocks, you get very deep very quick, and so you can still see all kinds of really cool corals that are a little bit deeper water corals. And then the opportunity increases for your wildlife, seeing the manta rays and some of those other things. But it does get quite deep here pretty quickly, but a really unique opportunity to see a variety of things in a very short period of time. I will note to make sure to be careful around this wreck. As you can see already, there are parts that have fallen off of the wreck, and it's in a state of impressive corrosion over time. And so this is not a toy. This is a look, don't touch type of activity, but a really, really unique thing that you get to do in some very shallow water here on Kwaj. If you've done the LCM wreck, please add some comments down below. Tell us your favorite experiences there, or if there's anything I've missed, please help others to get the most out of their experience. As always, leave this place cleaner than when you found it, and we will see you next time.